Let me make a quick statement. I want everybody to pay attention to this and listen to the meaning of this real quick.
This is the TRT and Hormone Optimization YouTube channel. And if you want to learn all about the science-based information on this topic, consider subscribing, hit that notification bell, and you'll be on your way.
Green Giant asks, can you guys address the continuous debate we have in the Facebook group? If someone needs 400 milligrams for symptom resolution, is that then a cycle? Or is everyone different with different hormonal needs? Yeah, I see that a lot.
The word cycle refers to coming on and coming off. So if you want to get real technical, is it a cycle? It's not a cycle if you stay on it forever. You can get 1,000 milligrams a week of testosterone, and if you don't come off, it's not a cycle. So
and you could cycle 200 milligrams.
You could cycle TRT, right?
Yeah, this is a category error, right?
Is it a supraphysiological performance enhancing dose, or is it a physiological medical treatment? Is really the way it should be. Depends on the individual, depends on his provider, depends on symptom resolution. Hey, I want to feel like Superman. That's my symptom is I feel human and I want to feel superhuman. So if you don't resolve that symptom, you're not treating me correctly. I don't know what symptom resolution means in that term. Again, I'm a very direct person when it comes to analysis. I don't like social terms. I like math a lot because 2 + 2 always equals 4. I dislike subjective answers because they're left to interpretation. Philosophers hate me because they'll sit there and debate an answer for an hour, and I'll just say it's black and white. Because I like science and I like math. I don't like politics and I don't like argumentative results. I like to literally just sit there. And there's a lot of critical thinking that comes into assessments, but that is based on subjective data. Someone tells you how they feel, and you're trying to find some feedback to try to make them feel better. But when it comes to objective data, okay, if Jordan looks at a scan and he says, you have cancer, or you broke your foot, we're not going to debate it. But if he says, what's your level of pain? And I say a 7, and he says, well, you sure it's not a 4? We can go back and forth on this, right? There is no right or wrong. This is subjective. So objective data is black and white. Yep. And if you say, what is symptom resolution? That is subjective.
Yep.
That is not, well, your T is at 1,000. That's it. That is like, what is your symptom resolution? So when you say, do you achieve symptom resolution? I don't know what that means for that individual. Do most people need 400 milligrams a week? The answer is absolutely not. Can some people need 400 milligrams a week? I know one guy who competed in bodybuilding back in the 80s, and he did so for about 30 years. Never made pro, but competed at a high level. He's now in his late 50s. He's on TRT at 400 milligrams a week, and his levels are in the 600 to 700 range. He is first off, he's a big guy. Secondly, he's run steroids for so many years that it's literally a tolerance thing at this point. His body just doesn't respond. The guy takes an ml of 200 milligrams of cypionate twice a week, 400 milligrams a week, and he achieves levels in the 600s. I mean, should you tell this guy, cut your level in half because you're on a cycle? Right. I mean, everything else looks good in his labs. And honestly, he could probably go to 500 or 600 if he wanted to bump to 1,000. He doesn't, and that's fine. But he feels okay. He feels normal now. Yeah. So it's possible, and this is why I'm the one that actually approved that post in the group. And someone kept bashing the guy, and I said, hey, we don't know enough. Let it be, and we'll see which direction this is headed. But there may be a time and place for this. Is it normal? Absolutely not. Can it happen? It can.
Yeah, it's not. Just from my perspective, I only have maybe 2 patients on 400 a week. I saw a guy recently. He drove to see me from College Station, Texas, about a 4 or 5 hour drive. He's in the group. Super normal, nice guy, big dude, 6'5". He's already on TRT. He's been on 300 milligrams a week, kind of on his own, bumped it up. 300 milligrams a week only put him in the 700s. He experimented with higher on his own just to see how he would feel, and because he's had some depression and anxiety pretty severe, and he noticed immediate difference after a few weeks on a higher dose. And so, I was okay with bumping him up from 300 to 400 because 300 put him in the 700s. Where's 400 going to put him? I don't know. We'll see, but is he going to, if he feels better? I mean, he's not a bodybuilder. He's not looking to get jacked. but these are rare scenarios, right? I do have more guys on 300 a week, but it's not, again, that many. It may only be 10 guys total that I have on that. Most just don't need that much to get symptom, to feel better. And like you say, it is subjective. Symptom resolution. Well, I can make up all kinds of symptoms that I say I need resolved. Is my symptom that I don't look like Arnold Schwarzenegger? I mean, that's just, this is all within reason, right? It's where did you start and what's going on now, and were your expectations wrong? What were you expecting TRT to do for you? Because that's what I see a lot of too, is guys think it's going to turn them into this jack dude in the gym and their workouts are going to always be good. And they'll try to base their TRT dosing needs off of their gym performance. And I'm like, what? Like, even guys on tons of gear have bad gym days. I mean, that's insane. Like, don't even think about it like that. So
let me make a quick statement. I want everybody to pay attention to this and listen to the meaning of this real quick. Labs never tell us if we're doing a good job. You tell us if we're doing a good job. Labs can only tell us if we're doing a bad job. So if the labs come back and they show that we are causing harm in other areas, not your testosterone, but other areas as a result of your treatment, then the labs are showing us that we're not doing it correctly. The labs cannot confirm that we're doing it correctly, no matter how pretty they are. And Clomid is a perfect example of that. I can show you picture perfect labs with Clomid, and I'm still doing a bad job. So labs can confirm a bad result. They cannot confirm a good result. You as the patient are in charge of confirming a good result.
Yep.
So think about that the next time you look at your labs or you have a talk with your provider.
Speaking of Clomid, I mean, it's amazing how many urologists now are jumping to Clomid as quote unquote TRT. And it absolutely drives me nuts, because there were a couple papers written about what it could do to the numbers, didn't give a crap about symptoms that much, right? And so the typical Western medicine mindset is to chase a lab and try to fix it and then claim victory. Right?
Research is always about objective data, because animals can't speak. Animals can't provide subjective. And most of the research is on animals. So by definition, even though when you shift into humans, research is about objective data. It's about charts, graphs, numbers, and measurable metrics.
It is.
Research is objective. And that's why it's somewhat flawed in a clinical setting.
Yeah, because, well, again, and what are you measuring? Is it meaningful, right? Like, just because I can measure a lot of things does not mean that is what matters. It doesn't make it clinically significant, right? I always say this, just like statistical significance is not the same thing as clinical significance.
Jordan, you're an MD. You're an MD. Stephen, you're an MD and you're also a PhD. What is the difference between PhD and MD? The MD means that you're treating patients in a clinical setting, hands-on. You're concerned with subjective. You're concerned with treatment to resolve a individual and their symptoms. Your PhD is the research side. You're concerned with numbers, data, and facts on paper. And those are mutually exclusive. And this is the problem, is that people don't see the difference between studies and clinical setting. And that is a big distinction.
Yeah, and we could dive into well, the funniest part about PhD, right, is what does PhD mean? What are you, a doctor?
So doctor of philosophy.
There you go. And yet I will bring up the philosophy,
which is the opposite of science.
Yeah, well, it's actually a big part of it, because there is a philosophy of science. It's just that most scientists don't even know it. And then you start bringing it up to them and their heads explode, and you start trying to explain to them that the scientific method is actually a logical process and a method, and that nothing you do now even adheres to it. And they literally will call you names, and like a science denier, I'm like, no, I'm actually showing you what science is. And you don't like it because it poo-poos all the nonsense you guys do in your charts and your graphs and all that. So
the simple question for layman's patients is to say, look, you walked in here presenting problems. Would you say I've done my job when you call me in 3 months and say I no longer have these problems? Or would you say I've done my job when I hand you a framed certificate of labs that look picture perfect to hang on your fridge? Right. But you still experience the same problems, but your labs look a lot better.
Yeah.
Which do you prefer? And so I just want to feel good.
Yeah.
And this is why I never give results before we have a subjective conversation. You call somebody and say, how are you feeling? Oh, how do my labs look? Well, we'll get to that. How are you feeling? Because when you tell them, listen, your numbers are still low. Oh, well, I feel like shit.
Yeah.
Because
And
again,
this is a problem when guys can now get their labs before I even see them.
Yeah.
They get their lab results in a portal or whatever, and it drives me insane.
It's an
And
anticipatory reply.
it is. And they'll message me about, Doc, what do I need to do about my hematocrit? I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't have your lab results back. So they've already seen them. They've seen something in the red, and they're already thinking they've got an issue.
I've gotten that out of range report, and I get a message. Oh my God, my hematocrit's 51.
Yeah.
Please call me.
Wow. Yeah. This is the hardest part is I don't want to say re-education, right? Because that sounds very totalitarian. But it's just alleviating people's fears and getting them. But like you're talking about, focusing on the numbers is very academic, quote unquote. And yet patients now think that's what matters the most because they've bought into this new reality that data is all that matters when we're trying to fix how you feel and your health and your well-being and all these things that are not even material concepts, right? It's immaterial. It's feeling, it's thought, it's, all these things that you cannot quantify. And so you got to do both. I mean, like I say, the numbers are great. They're a tool, but there's more to it. So.
Yeah, that's why I love dermatology so much because it's just so clinical. I don't even care about your lab work or your numbers. Just show me the skin. So
yeah. Look at urology, right? But that's objective, but I don't even need the labs. Oh, you got a stone, you can't pass it. I'm going to take it out. It's like caveman. I mean, see problem, fix problem. It's not, I love it for that reason. But the TRT side it's difficult.
Yeah, I feel for psychiatrists. I mean, they're purely in a subjective field, and it's so, it's a circle.
All right.